Welcome to another edition of Smart Chat here on YouTube.com, and thank you for watching, liking, subscribing to my channel. If you haven't done so, please do so right now. And I do want to do a video. I want to do a video on the New York Yankees, Houston Astros, one playoff game that they had, and that was the wild card game, as well as kind of give you my thoughts on the Yankees season, kind of all rolled into one. Now, as far as the game, Keiko, a left-hander, he pitched, going into yesterday's game, was on 3 days rest. I thought to myself, 3 days rest goes to our advantage. But he pitched 16 scoreless innings against the Yankees coming into the game. Not to our advantage. But he's also horrible on the road. Better at home. Way better at home. To our advantage. And I thought the bullpen worked to our advantage as well. Can't get any better with the combination of Betances, Wilson, Betances, Miller, throwing Warren in there. So I thought the series would work in our favor, and obviously it didn't. Throughout the whole year, now, for the Yankees to get into the playoffs, you would have signed up, because on paper there were a lot of question marks. You had Teixeira, question mark, could he stay healthy? A-Rod hadn't been playing for over a year. Could he bounce back? And, Tanaka, what would you get from Tanaka? Pineda, so on and so forth. But as the season was going on, you had Teixeira being healthy for the most part until about August, which is when our season, I think, turned. A-Rod doing what he did, over 20 home runs, 80-something RBI. One could say even comeback player of the year if he was in better graces. And this team was up there, winning, leading the division. It was a close division. But then the Toronto Blue Jays made some moves, and we didn't. We normally made moves. Now, looking back on it, are you happy that we didn't get rid of, players like Severino? We didn't get rid of players like Bird, Refschneider. Bird, Refschneider, Severino all look like they're major league caliber players. Are you happy that we didn't get rid of them for a right-handed bat, which is something that we desperately needed for, let's say, a Ben Zobrist who is available? Are you happy with that? We didn't make the moves. We kept the guys. But it cost us because we definitely needed a right-handed bat. What also worked against our favor is our team was very, very, very streaky. Either we're hitting or we're not. Nowhere in between. And kind of when Teixeira went down, so did our season go down. We weren't hitting at all. We were losing games. For us to win that game yesterday versus the Astros, we needed to hit, which we didn't. Now, granted, the Astros didn't hit as well, but they got just enough hits, what they needed. The game wasn't even really that close, to be honest with you. Tanaka, after he gave up the home run, he gave up 2 home runs, wound up giving up 3 runs, but he pitched okay. He didn't pitch phenomenal. 5 innings, 4 hits. But he didn't get the job done. And once again, we weren't able to handle left-handing pitching, which is what killed us. After the game, and it killed us and our streakiness, not being able to hit left-handed pitches and all of that. It destroyed us. Now, if you were listening to the game, the press conference after the game, the Yankee players said that they were happy. It was a good season. Good season. I think what we as Yankee fans need to worry about is making the playoffs, and it didn't even feel like a playoff game because one and done. They now consider it a good season. If George Steinbrenner was still around, that's not a good season. It's not acceptable. It's not. Not at all. What would have been acceptable is facing the Royals, losing in the 5th game, I think. Because no one expected our team to be where they were. With all the questions marks coming in. So, here we are. How do we address, in this offseason, our lineup? Too many left-handed bats, no right-handed bats. What do we do? Do we get Cespedes? Do we spend like we used to? We didn't spend that much last season. Are we going to change that? What are we going to do with the big money contracts? Is there anything to do? Teixeira, who, if he is playing, at least this year, was able to put up the numbers, phenomenal numbers. What will be the outcome with him next year? Can you move that contract? Probably not. But now, Teixeira there is definitely a hindrance for Greg Bird being on this team, because I don't see him being on this team. You're not going to have Greg Bird on this team if Teixeira is on this team. For the fact being, whether we like it or not, Teixeira is making the dough. He's going to be playing. Bird is going to go back down to AAA if that's the case. What about our pitching? Tanaka, can he stay healthy? He had his ups and downs this year. Stint on the DL. Pineda, all this potential. And he just really can't put it together for being a consistent go-to pitcher. Sabathia had his issues. Evaldi had a great record, high ERA. Lot of questions that need to be addressed. And unfortunately, our weakness has caused us not to go further. Definitely need a right-handed bat. We need to make some moves. I like our bullpen. Can you get another pitcher in there? Can you get another right-handed bat? Cespedes or whoever it may be. What are we going to do with big money contracts? Drew, Teixeira. A lot of questions that need to be answered. Ellsbury, a lot. So, with that being said, until next time, adios, over and out.